Hi, this is David PC Tech Doctors, and wanted to do a small how-to video on installing a Microsoft operating system that is actually good for those who still want to use Windows 7. I know that everybody in the tech world, especially Microsoft, has been trying to get everybody on the Windows 10 for many reasons, and I won't get into those now, but the reality is some people are more comfortable with Windows 7, and that's just, I respect that, and some people don't like Windows 10, which is another reason. But it is a good idea not to use Internet Explorer. Microsoft themselves has recommended that their users not use Internet Explorer anymore, because of the security holes, because of the compatibility with things. Matter of fact, the only reason that it exists in Windows 10 is for compatibility with corporate web-based apps that might still be out there. There might be some other reasons, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But if you're going to use Windows 7, I do suggest using a third-party browser such as Chrome, Google Chrome, or Firefox. But there is a Microsoft alternative now. There used to be the Edge browser was only for Windows 10. But with Edge, they are now rebuilding Edge from the ground up with the help of Google. Google and Microsoft are working together they work together to make their own web browser, which is what they're calling Edge Chromium. Edge Chromium was a collaboration between Microsoft and Google to build a web browser, which is, in my opinion, an excellent web browser. I think it's on par with Google Chrome. I'm not so much on the Firefox bandwagon, but it is a good browser. So I would highly recommend, if you're running Windows 7, to have a good web browser like Edge Chromium. I mean, you have two big companies such as Google and Microsoft working together to build something like this, so I don't see why it would not be a good idea. So this is a Windows 7 build I have here for testing purposes. So I'm going to walk you through installing Edge Chromium onto Windows 7. Now, the original Edge browser, which is just the one Microsoft built by themselves, and I know that gets a little confusing because now they have 3 web browsers if you count Internet Explorer, is not available in Windows 7. And if you don't have Windows 10 yet, you're not missing much. That version of the Edge browser is not that good. It's built on a different foundation than Edge Chromium. Edge Chromium is a really good build, so without me babbling about it a little more, let's walk through the installation. So let's just you could use Internet Explorer or Chrome or Firefox, whatever the browser that you have on Windows 7. So you can go to google.com, and instead of doing the URL, which could change, but just to make it easy, we will just type in the search Edge Chromium, and then there's the support.com. Make sure it says Microsoft.com for the link. Okay, we click on that. Then here is the download the new Edge Chromium, and I might try to put the actual link to the download so you can skip a couple steps and get to this web page directly. So we'll click there, and now it should auto detect that you have Windows 7. See, it says the new Edge browser for Windows 7. So you would click download, and you have to make the lawyers happy and click OK. And it says, do you want to run this? We'll click run. And we will wait for it to do its thing. It should start very shortly. Here we go. It is getting to the new Edge. And I do highly recommend this, especially if you are still on Windows 7. I mean, you can use Chrome or Firefox, but I really do highly recommend this browser. It's a really good browser. And again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Dave with PC Tech Doctors. We do provide technology support for small businesses and home users in the Gulf Coast counties of Florida, which would be like Port Charlotte, maybe as far north as Bradenton to as far south as Fort Myers, some in that Sarasota to Fort Myers corridor. We've been in business for about 3 months. I do have about 25 years as a network systems administrator, network systems engineer in Philadelphia area, as well as doing that same work in where I currently live now, which is Charlotte County, Florida, and the surrounding areas. So I love what I do. I've done it my whole life. Love helping people. I get a great satisfaction of helping regular people, with and getting them up and running and getting them working. So, well, right now we are at the downloading part where it says getting the new Edge, and it says we can't wait for you to try, and I can't wait either, because then I can stop talking so much. So, right now it says downloading. We will minimize this. Okay, we are finishing up now on the downloading, and the install should start any minute now. I know I made a small error a little while when I said we've been working in this area for the past 3 months. It's actually been the past 3 years. PC Tech Doctors have been serving the community, so I did make that small mistake, so I apologize. I tend to babble, and sometimes I'm nervous and say the wrong thing. So again, this is just finished here. It finished and installed. It's about to launch now. Okay, so this is the splash screen here at launch. If it doesn't, you would just click on it here. You would click Get Started. Now you can import from Chrome, and it will import all your favorites and all your links. For my purposes, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to continue without importing. Now there's 3 different branches, 3 different ways you can set this up. I don't want to say branches, but 3 different setups. There's inspirational, informal, focused. I like using informational. It just gives you news, things like that. When I open up the browser, I like to see what's going on in the world, so I'm going to click informational, but all 3 are fine. It's just a preference. Now this part, if you have a Microsoft account, you can click the sign in and sync your data across multiple browsers, and download your favorites and make sure your favorites are there among Edge browsers on different platforms, because they do have Edge for Windows 10, obviously. They have it for Linux. They have it for Android as well. I believe they have it for iPhone as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure they do. You can click the sign in, or you can just continue without signing in. If you don't sign in, you won't get that feature. I'm not going to sign in because I don't need to. And here we are. We're basically in the Edge browser. And it is a very good browser. I like it. Close it and open it again. And it will ask you if you want to set it to default. That's again your preference. If you want to keep Chrome or Firefox as your default, that's okay. If you have Internet Explorer as your default and you want to change it, I would suggest choosing that as default. So with that said, this is the Edge browser. Feel free to look around, take a look at it, see what you like, see what you don't like. Comment below if you have any questions or comments. Just leave a comment or like and subscribe, and I'm going to try to do some more videos on how to do how to do small technical things and, help people, because that's what I enjoy doing. Okay, well, thank you and have a great day.